introduction. September 1943. Italy, exhausted by years of war and shaken by the announcement of the armistice with the Allied forces, found itself caught in the midst of a historical whirlwind that would change the course of the conflict and the nation itself. Operation Avalanche, the Allied landing on the coast of Salerno, represents one of the most critical and daring moments of the Italian campaign. Among the units that wrote that page of military history with blood and courage, one stood out for its spirit, sacrifice and identity: the 45th Infantry Division, better known as the Thunderbirds. The men of the Thunderbird, the 45th Infantry Division. Formed in 1923 as a National Guard unit from Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona, the 45th was a unique formation with a strong presence of Native American soldiers: Cherokee, Choctaw, Apache, Pueblo, Navajo, Pawnee, and Kiowa. United by a spirit of brotherhood and belonging, these men carried with them ancient traditions, spirituality, and an extraordinary physical and mental resilience. The division was called into federal service in September 1940 to prepare for possible U.S. involvement in World War II. After initial training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, the division began to receive reinforcements from all over the country. By the time the Thunderbirds reached Fort Devens, Massachusetts, in the spring of 1942, the division included men from 47 U.S. states. The original symbol of the division was a red swastika on a gold background, an ancient emblem of good luck in Native American cultures. With the rise of Nazism, it was abandoned and replaced by the Thunderbird, designed by Kiowa artist Woodrow Wilson, Woody Big Bow. The new symbol represented a mythical bird that brings thunder, lightning, and rain, a symbol of power, rebirth, war, and protection. Even the famous war cartoonist Bill Mauldin was influenced by Native Americans serving in the 45th Division. His iconic character, Willie, was inspired by Raisin Billy, a Choctaw soldier from Kyoto, Oklahoma. Destination Europe, the Thunderbirds arrive in Sicily. In July 1943, the 45th Infantry Division was among the first American units to land in Sicily as part of Operation Husky. After heavy fighting in Gela, Nicosia, and Santo Stefano di Camastra, the Thunderbirds demonstrated determination and resilience, earning the honor of participating in the next crucial phase: the invasion of the Italian peninsula. Ready for Avalanche? Plans for the involvement of the 45th Infantry Division in the invasion of the Italian peninsula began on August 21st, 1943, when Major General Troy Houston Middleton, commander of the division, flew to Algiers to meet General Mark Clark. The 45th Division was assigned to the U.S. 5th Army. The goal of Operation Avalanche was to land on the coast of Campania, seize the port of Naples, and advance northward, forcing the Germans to retreat. The landing was executed without heavy preliminary bombardment to exploit the element of surprise. But the German 16th Panzer Division was ready to counterattack, sparking one of the fiercest battles of World War II on the Italian front. The landing. While the 36th Texas Division landed at dawn on September 9, 1943, the boats of the 179th Infantry Regiment, the first unit of the 45th Division to land, touched down at dawn on September 10th. Enemy air bombardments concentrated on the narrow strip of beach where the day before the 36th Division had bravely resisted under the most intense fire. General Middleton himself landed on the morning of September 10th and moved to the headquarters of the 6th Corps, where he learned that the 179th Infantry Regiment would attack northeast along the Sele River, with the aim of capturing the Ponte Sele Bridge on State Road 19 and the hills to the northeast. Middleton, commander of the division, led the advance with unwavering determination, resisting pressures to retreat. His words, recorded in official reports, became legendary.
Put food and ammunition behind the 45th. We are going to stay here.
In that context, Middleton uttered that phrase as a declaration of determination and resistance. The 45th would not retreat. The battle to hold the beachhead between the Sele and Calore rivers. Between September 10th and the 14th, 1943, fighting focused on the plain between the Sele and Calore rivers. Here, the 45th and the 36th divisions resisted a series of fierce German counterattacks. The 157th Regiment of the 45th, positioned along the northern bank of the Sele near Persano, faced waves of German infantry and tanks from the 16th Panzer Division. Despite repeated attacks, they held their ground, even under frontal assaults by tanks and large numbers of German infantry troops. Casualties were heavy, but US artillery fire prevented enemy breakthroughs. The 179th Regiment advanced along the corridor between the Sele and Calore rivers, aiming to secure Ponte Sele, a key point for control of State Road 19. The critical moment, September the 13th. At 3:30 p.m. on September the 13th, the 16th Panzer Division launched a massive assault on the sector of the 157th Regiment, near the tobacco factory along the Sele River. The situation grew desperate until US artillery opened rapid fire at close range, preventing the German tanks from reaching the sea. The crisis was averted and disaster prevented. The Memory Trail. Paestum Beaches, Landing Zone, September the 10th, 1943. The beaches between Torre di Paestum and Foce Sele were the scene of the 45th Division's landing. Here, the Thunderbirds faced enemy fire for the first time, advancing through dunes and minefields under German artillery fire. Today, visitors can walk the beaches and see surviving bunkers. Archaeological site of Paestum. The ancient Doric temples of Paestum were used by US forces as camps and landmarks during the early stages of the operation. The image of soldiers among millennia-old columns is one of the most evocative of the entire campaign. Persano, Sele River Front, Serre. Near Ponte Sele, Persano was one of the key German defensive strongholds. Today, it is possible to visit the area around the historic Persano estate, once the German headquarters, where you can still feel the atmosphere of the front. Eboli, the heart of memory. MOA, Museum of Operation Avalanche. Eboli endured brutal bombardments and clashes. In the heart of the historic center of Eboli stands the MOA, Museum of Operation Avalanche, the most important Italian museum dedicated to the Salerno landing. The museum preserves uniforms, weapons, documents, films, and multimedia installations that provide an immersive account of the epic story of the Allied troops, including the Thunderbirds. The old town of Eboli still has buildings that were severely damaged by the 1943 bombings. Battipaglia, strategic crossroads. Battipaglia was a key crossroads for controlling traffic between Salerno and the hinterland. Although the 45th Division was operating further south, its units cooperated with the 36th Texas Division in stabilizing the sector. Calore River, the edge of the bridgehead. Between the Sele and Calore rivers, the bridgehead, defended by the 45th Division, developed. Today, nature trails and educational markers retrace the battlefield. Campania, history, memory, and hospitality. Located in the hilly hinterland northeast of Eboli, Campania was involved in fighting in the days following the landing. Campania is remembered today for its humanitarian role. During the war, it hosted a civilian internment camp for foreign Jews. In the old town, the Giovanni Palatucci Museum of Memory and Peace is today an essential stop for those who want to understand the human and historical context during the war. The museum preserves testimonies, documents, and photographs relating to internment, the Shoah, and liberation. Salerno, Allied headquarters and symbol of liberation. Although the 45th Division mainly fought south of the city, Salerno became the nerve center of Operation Avalanche. After the landing, it became the headquarters of the US 5th Corps and the hub of logistical, medical, and command operations. Today, the seafront, the Villa Comunale, and Old Town preserve traces and testimonies of those days.